time for a new video, and I mucked up. What did I muck up? Let me show you this. So I thought I would continue on with the interior just to get a bit more things done in here, and while attempting to fit the B-pillar trim, as you'll see here, I have got it on the inside. First thing I did was, I originally made it out of vinyl, and then putting it on, it just didn't quite match with the velour, and the A-pillars are velour as well, so it didn't quite look right. So I've remade them in velour, and I've just got it loosely trimmed on here now. So just to test fit. So you mark that hole there, and then you work out where you're going to go after that, and that's where your seat belt sits inside. But what did I muck up? When I put the head lining in, I forgot to attach these to the head lining up here, same as the A-pillars. So, silly me, instead of having to take the whole head lining back out, I'm going to have to hand stitch this. So the reason for test fitting this on was to make sure it's in the right areas. And I'll have to get this upside down, stitch it to this piece here, and then it can come down. And then hopefully my hole here still lines up. I should pin it first. That's a good idea. I'll do that. So that's what I've stuffed up. So not only is it there, it's also there, and then the pillar behind me. So I've got to do 4 hand stitches to get this right. But lucky for me, I'm a good sewer. So it will be very unnoticeable. So I'm going to get me yarn and needle and thread, or whatever you want to call it. That's the thread that I've used to sew all of the interior together. It's an M20, so it's quite thick and durable. So I'm going to get hand stitching, and we'll see how it looks. All right, I now have the B-pillar pinned, and see, it's quite hard to see where the seam is. So the seam runs across here. So I've just put it on, made sure I've got my location hole for the seat belt in the right place, and clamped it halfway down. Yes, it's baggy because I haven't got glue on it. So now I can stitch this across here, and that'll be fine. So that's the next step. Well, there we go. It's on. The seam is very invisible, so that's good. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of clips on there just to be able to get it so it's smooth and doesn't move and get air bubbles. So you really have to work it, start from the top and work it down to work out your air bubbles. But don't glue the whole lot because you'll get glue everywhere. So I did glue from there to there and then to there, and just did it in stages as I went down and clamped it. So it's come out really well. Now I've just got to do the other side in the front A-pillars. So the stitching went well. The gluing was a little tough, but all in all, it's looking good. It is looking good. Look at that. Look at that. Magnificent. Well, there you go. I thought I'd just throw some time lapse in to show you actually how I installed the B-pillar trims with the stitching up the top and then just fitting it as you slowly go down, gluing it and clamping it on. It is a messy job. I did get one tiny bit of glue on the side there, but I'm hoping that's covered by the seat and the pinch weld, but it's come out as pretty much as good, or probably better than the other side actually, so good thing I recorded this one, eh? So that's how you get your B-pillar trims on. We'll wait for that to dry and then it should come out just as good as this one. So I want to start to reinstall the seat belt up there in the positions and down on the floor here, so just get that some mess off the floor here, and then we'll get onto the A-pillars. Well, I've had a delivery today and one of them was a new rear windscreen rubber. So I've just test fitted that in the car to make sure it fits. It's a little cockeyed up in the top corners, but I'm hoping when the glass goes in that'll sort that out, because I did buy a new rear windscreen rubber for the Charger and that did not fit. It was a couple inches too big. So I wanted to check this before I try and install whether it's going to fit or not, and it appears that it fits all right, other than the top corners, which again, when the glass is in, that'll sort itself out. I've also fitted one of the pinch welds to the rear door. I also got a new set of scuff plates, but I still have to install my A-pillars. Now if you can see this one here, this one's a little bit different. I've installed it at the bottom because it's really hard to get down in the dash in the corner. So I'm just mucking around with trying to install that there. So I think this one is going to be difficult, especially with having to hand sew as well. So I'm still working my way through that. Haven't taken the clips off that pillar yet, which I'll do now. But I'll get one of the pillars on and we'll see how that looks. I've got one of the A-pillars in. Now, I did start the other side, but run out of pinch weld, so it's just glued at the base. But how good does that look? Now, I did do something a little different here. Because it's so hard to get it in under the dash, I put that in first and went the other way up. I didn't sew it here. I've just put little dabs of glue there, made like a seam that it looks like it's sewed. So that'll give the impression that it's sewn. And then when the pinch weld goes up around here and the front windscreen rubber is along here, that'll hold that in anyway. No dramas whatsoever. I did have an issue over on the driver's side when I started this. Somehow or other, I got a massive blob of glue on here. Thought it was from my hand, but it wasn't. I thought, oh no, what am I going to do here? So all I did was just got a little bit of thinners on a rag, dabbed it off, and it cleaned up. Very happy with that outcome. And then if you look at our B-pillar here, I did mention earlier that I had a stain around here. Tried it on that, cleaned that one up too. So, thinners is really good for cleaning up quick grip. Also managed to put the pinch weld on this door as well. I'm gonna let that set. When that sets, we'll get some more pinch weld, finish up that pillar, and then that's the A and B pillars done. Or the full roving headline anyway. Then maybe might look at putting in those rear trims for the opera windows and redoing the parcel shelf. A bit more progress. The A-pillars are now done and looking quite smashing. But I've also put the front pinch weld on, and I've also installed seat belts. So front seat belts, they're not all tightened up because I do have to replace the front, as this one here is broken there, so that's no good. Back ones are in, however I do have to put those opera trims in, so they will be next, and I think that will probably wrap this video up. Need carpet before I do those, because there's no point putting them on and then have to take them out for the carpet. But the back of them is installed. So if I just move that seat belt out of the way, got this thing here, and that goes in behind the seat belt, and the seat belt runs along on this plastic thing so it doesn't dirty your trim. So that's pretty fancy. I've also put the parcel shelf back in. Yes, I do have to retrim it in cerulean, but I've got to find the carpet. I've ordered carpet. I don't know whether it comes with extra roll or not, so I have to suss that out. Hopefully that's not too far away. It's been on order for nearly 2 weeks, so it can't be too far away. So next job, yep. 1, 2, inside trim there, and then the up of the car is done. And also in this bag here is a new front windscreen seal to be fitted when I get a new front windscreen. I'm out here now with my opera windows. So one is ready to go in, the other not so. Now they go in to the car with these Christmas tree clips, and all they do is they just slide into a groove there and then they clip into the car. So that's what they're meant to look like. On my other one, I've got one there with a broken glued one in. They're all broken, so I need to glue some new ones in. So I've bought a selection of Christmas tree clips. I will add 1, 2, 3, 4 on there, 1 on that one, and then they're ready to go in. Well, there you have it. That will be a wrap on this video. Now that a lot of the trim work in the interior is done, still waiting for that carpet. I rang them today. They reckon about another week before that's ready, and that can go in and install when that comes in. But yeah, if anyone's interested in how they do the A, B, C pillars, that's how you do it. I hope someone can get something out of this, and it's slowly coming together. I tell you what, putting pieces on rather than taking them off is so much more fun, and seeing the car come together is really exciting. I hope that's able to help anyone refitting their interior after many years like me. On that note, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.